Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to another movie review. The next film I'm doing is it's a horror film, but also there is also mixed with comedy in it. It's supposed to be like a horror comedy film. And this one I'm doing is next is Man's Best Friend. Released in November 19th, 1993. It stars Sheedy and Lance Henriksen. Sheedy from The Breakfast Club, and Lance Henriksen from countless films. The first Terminator and Aliens. He's been in countless films. This film has been directed by John Lafia, which he directed Child's Play 2. And the film came out, didn't do really well at the box office. It was on a budget of $6 million, made like $12 million. Which I think is kind of false advertising on one of the trailers. It said it was made $15 million. But really $12 million. So, but what now? Now I like this film. I do. Even now there's a couple of things that I disagree on though. But overall, I do like this film. Like this here, for instance, they say that this is a killer dog film, though, but is this what they said they make it like the combination of Cujo and Terminator, because make it like a cyborg dog, But in the film, he's not a cyborg. He's just more genetically engineered, I get the Cujo aspect, but because I love Cujo, and that's one of the better killer dog films, but Terminator I kind of gets around because he's not a cyborg. He does in the film he doesn't look like that though. He doesn't look like that. And the film was the film was given negative reception. It has a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes though, and I think it has like has a 5.0 on IMDb. So it was not for overall. To a lot of people, it was not a really good film. But I like the film, And even despite all the negative reception, Sheedy, she was nominated for a Saturn Award for Best Actress. And I would think so because Sheedy and Lance Henriksen, they both did a good job in this film. They did. I would be honest on that, And even though really quick, probably maybe some people probably know this though, but in the comedy film Friday, where actor John Witherspoon, he's watching. I think it was watching on his TV. I think that the scene where the scene where the mailman is being chased by the dog. That scene from this film is in that film Friday. I just want to point that out though. If anyone has ever seen Friday, that scene where the dog chases the mailman, that scene from this film is in that film. So I just want to point that out. But in the film, getting into the film, that the start with this woman who's an employee at this lab called Emacs. She gets contact with Sheedy as Lori. She's a reporter. She wants to ask the employee working there that if she can get in and start filming some of the some of the animals they have, because this company Emacs is experimenting on animals, and she does but then I think it's the dog though, but it doesn't show the dog, but it shows from its point of view, that it goes up to the employee and attacks her and kills her, so then it drags her off screen, you get the idea it's the dog though, but it doesn't show the dog. It just shows from its point of view attacking the employee, and then it cuts away, you know. So after that, Lori and her friend, forget what the oh, let me look it up. I don't remember her friend. I just want to get it right, you know. Oh, it's her a friend of hers, another woman who works with her, you know. She takes the camera with them, you know, and starts seeing all these animals, and when they as they're going in, you know, she sees a big cage with a big cover on it, and she thinks it might be some extinct animal, but it turns out it's the dog named Max, which is a Rottweiler, and she opens the cage and wants to get Max to look for the camera, but then he runs off, and they get caught by security guard, and but then the Max pushes like a barrel on the security guard, makes him fall down the stairs, and Lance Henriksen is the guy named Dr. Jared, who is in charge of this whole in charge of Emax, who's doing all the experiments, you know. As they're making their escape, you know, he comes in an elevator, shines a light in his eyes, you know, and tells them, "Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing here?" You know, and they run off. But then Lance Henriksen, he sees Max, and he escapes as well. You know, and he's running after them. He's like, "No," you know. Then the Max gets in the car with the two women, and after that, when Alex Sheedy as and her friend to get groceries, you know, this mugger, which this guy I've seen him the guy who's playing this mugger. I've seen a lot of films, but mostly in small roles, you know. This actor named Thomas Rolsales Jr. I've seen him. He's been in a lot of films, but mostly in small roles. Like I recognize him. He was in Lost World, Jurassic Park. The guy, the character Carter, who got stepped on by the Tyrannosaurus. You know. And I recognize him. He's been in small roles in a lot in other films. You know. But he's the mugger who takes Laurie's purse. Then Max goes after him and returns the purse, which we'll find out later. Max kills him and returns the purse to her. So they she takes him to her home. You know, they said that doing the tricks. You know, saying he's really well trained. You know, and says he's on his belly. He has some scars on a large scar on him, being experimented on. And what Lance Henriksen, the character Dr. Jared, what he's been doing, you know, which he's telling, tells that he's been telling the two causes, which that's what mostly Lance Henriksen's character is in this film, is for mostly exposition to explain all this, you know. But he does it well though. I mostly find like most times in movies, characters are just there for exposition. I think it's rather boring. We already know what's going on though. But how Lance Henriksen, you know, how he explains all this stuff, he does a good job, you know. And plus, I like Lance Henriksen as an actor. You know, he's a really good actor. He did a good job explaining all this stuff, you know. And he's telling it to the two cops, which one of the cops is Robert Costanzo. I saw him. He was also in Die Hard 2. He was I think he was the cop who gave Bruce Willis' character John McClane his car a ticket. I think it got towed away, I think. And which also he has almost like a similar voice to Danny DeVito, which is why in the video game Kingdom Hearts he voices the character Phil from Hercules, you know, because his voice almost sounds like Danny DeVito, you know, so that's why, you know. But I recognize him, you know, as well. But he's a detective, and is also with his partner as well. Lance Henriksen tells the two cops about what happened, tells him what he's doing, you know, and later at the police station, you know, tells them what they're doing on this case, you know, and Lance Henriksen tells you know he has this drug, you know, to keep him calm, you know, but if it wears off, he's gonna crazy. He's like he's gonna snap, you know. I like how Lance Henriksen does it. He's gonna snap, you know. I like that scene where how he says it like that, you know. So, and then later the two cops and Lance Henriksen find the body of the mugger, you know, and tells them that it was definitely him, you know. And they say that Lance Henriksen is telling them that you're not doing your job right, you know, and you know he says that Max doesn't deserve a bullet. He deserves a medal, you know. This is what he's been designed to do, to save lives, you know. It's like, but in the right hands, he could save thousands of lives, but in the wrong hands, he could be a very deadly weapon. And while back at Lori's house, you know, I like the place where Alex Sheedy's in the shower, you know, and she sees that Max is sitting there with a towel, like, oh, thank you, Max, and tells him to turn around, you know. And then her boyfriend comes home by this guy named Frederick Lane, you know. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. This says that he was also on the show Lost, and he's also in Zero Dark 30, you know. But I hardly know what this guy is though. But he's Lori's boyfriend, and he's also what Max does not like, you know. He doesn't like him at all. Like when they're both in bed, and then Max is there, you know, barking, you know, saying that he does not like that, you know, because he likes Lori though, but he doesn't like him though. So the next day, you know, this kid who was in the neighborhood, you know, takes Max out for a walk, you know, and it goes to his house, and where the kid has a collie, you know, and Max likes the collie, but the collie doesn't like him. Kind of scares her, you know. But then also the kid has his young friend, you know, his other kid friend, that if they see this cat that belongs to this old woman, and they don't like the cat, you know, they tell Max to get him, Max, get him. And then the cat runs up a tree, and Max, since he's been genetically engineered, he has one of the traits he has from a jaguar. His ability to climb up the tree like a jaguar. You know, that's one of the DNA that's been put into him. You know, he can climb. He can use his claws and climb up the tree. And this is why this is why this is it's supposedly horror film, because how some of the stuff, you know, I thought it was also like a real how Holloway he's eating the cat. He's climbing up the tree, and he starts attacking, he's eating the cat, you know, and you actually see the cat inside the dog's mouth, you know, being swallowed. And I was like, oh man, that's just me. I thought that was kind of disturbing, you know, but because I felt so bad for the cat, you know. You know, I felt bad for the cat. Just like you see how the cat's in the dog's mouth and ends up being swallowed down the dog's throat, you know. It just made me feel bad about the cat though, but at the same time, it just felt really disturbing, you know. And I thought it made me go, oh shit, you know. And then the two kids start blaming each other. Oh no, you did it. You told him to get him, you know. And I thought this, yeah, there was some of the comedy aspects, like those two kids blaming each other, you know. Yeah, you know, it was supposed to be supposed to be part comedy though, but I thought they could do like straight out horror on this and leave out the comedy stuff out of it, you know. But still,